to this committee, and two of us are here, Mr. Bazika and myself. And I guess Sean is not on right now, but is going to be joining us by Zoom at some point in the near future.
What he communicated was he had class that in exactly at 1, and he can jump on as soon as he could.
So with that having occurred, the first thing is the call to order, which we have done. The second item on the agenda is the Preston Riverwalk schedule. Chris?
You might put that presentation on off strike.
I don't know. I'm not saying that we're heading wrong, I'm just saying we can keep track of that. It's helpful when like things go into like, the electric guys, and it just goes into them everywhere. This is the other thing, correct? Right. I just let Mary Lee know, and she said contact Tom.
Is this the presentation you want? This one?
He drives.
Oh, okay, sorry, 1 second.
Okay, no problem, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
P board. Board meeting, yeah, there we go. And down the bottom, Preston Riverwalk schedule.
Perfect.
You must have run track when you were in high school.
With these legs? Just go short.
She's a certified problem solver. No. No.
Hold on. I don't know why that's what, hold up. Preston Riverwalk schedule, what I clicked. I should do just cut everything.
That's strange. Oh, everybody's got a copy of it here, so just won't have it on the screen. Even Mike's got a copy of it.
What do we have a copy of?
It's in the Preston Riverwalk schedule. First one on the back side.
Yeah.
Here on my document.
No, what I did was I took the VPN, the last thing, and I saved it as, what I emailed it to everybody, I don't know how it didn't save, but for whatever reason, here we
Let me
go.
see if I can get it for email, and then I'll pull it up here.
I have only emailed to Jeff and
Okay,
Chris.
It's under VPN funding, so.
Wait, so the VPN funding it shows is the one, and the other one shows is the old?
oh, let me try that. Sorry.
No. Well, anyways, you have it in front of you.
Yes.
All right. So,
But maybe for Mike's benefit and whatnot, we have been talking for some time about how we can best work with the Mohegan tribe and the town of Preston to provide utilities for the Preston Riverwalk development, which is getting closer and closer. We have, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but
there is.
yeah, there we go. But we have the gas rights, and we have the water rights and the sewer rights there. The electric rights are in dispute, I guess would be the way to say it. I mean, I think that,
Or for competition.
yeah. Eversource potentially has the rights to it. We have potentially have the rights to it as well. I don't know how much the legal matters legally, but it's not a clear cut case. But I think what we've talked about, and as we get closer and closer to this, what we really want to do is sit down with the tribe and the town and try to work with them to say, let's come up with a partnership to come up with a full plan and see how we can work with one another. And hopefully that will lead to electric service as well as gas and water and sewer. So, I mean, that's something that is obviously coming up. Chris, maybe you want to talk now about what the schedule is for Preston Riverwalk?
Right. So, at the end of last month, we met with Paul Tresson. He is the Mohegan Sun project manager, and he was a very impressive person to be managing this. He has worked on casino projects all over the world. He's currently working on one in South Korea, was it? And but he has done work in Pennsylvania. He's done work in Vegas. He's done work in Jersey. Done work on property. So he is their largest project manager down there. And we have been talking to Sean down at the Preston Riverwalk and getting their perspective. We met with Paul, and he reaffirmed that the schedules are consistent with what we've been hearing from Sean Nugent. And right now they're continuing to do the environmental cleanup, and that's going to be happening over the next year. They expect that to be done sometime in early 24 or mid 24, late 24. And then there's a 6-month roughly period of time when the DEP is going to be doing the review, a final environmental review, making sure there's enough money in escrow to handle all of the additional cleanup that'll happen when they develop the property. And so they're looking at a transfer of the property sometime, most likely in early 25. So we're just 12 to 18 months from now. They're not getting any major surprises in their work. Then they have, once the transfer has happened, the construction has to happen 3 to 5 years, somewhere between 25 and 28. Has to be consistent with the master plan they submitted to the town years ago. It starts within 3 years from the transfer and needs to be complete within 5 years of the transfer. So I think anything else related to the project, we probably talk about in executive session. Unless there's any questions just on the general schedule.
No, I mean, I think if we're going to do it in executive session, I think that's a good idea. Maybe I should wait, but I mean, one of the things that I would love to see us at least contemplate moving forward with all of this is the idea of developing maybe on Norwich Hospital property, maybe on which is an enterprise zone or whatever, or potentially on Preston property, some sort of power generation, be it backup power or emergency backup power or significant power for the whole project, or potentially green stuff, whatever. I mean, I just think that we have to meet their needs. So I mean, that's a real key. But I think that that's something we ought to be looking to do, whether it's behind the meter or in front of the meter.
So I think that's a good executive session, because CMEC has some strong feelings on this. And also, this is also a load before backup or, where there's any value. And the other thing we'll be talking about is solar sale in executive session. And you can see why it's very critical to have load before generation. We would have gone in and put generation in to the expectations of that project. We would have a lot of generation for, batteries or some other, item that we could not be running on our system today.
Yep.
So I think that's a good executive session discussion.
All right, that sounds fine to me. And that's the next item on the agenda. So let me entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I'll take that motion, Mr. Chairman.
And I'll second that motion. All those in favor? It's 2-0. We are now in executive session. I don't think it's Sean's on yet. No, he's not.
All right, so Simone, for executive session, if you wouldn't mind stopping the recording.
Yes.